This is Fantasy Football Week 10 results and review for start, bench, or on the fence. All right, since this is just a review video, I'm trying to get through this quickly. This is my grading scale I'm reviewing myself on. If I said start any one of these, top 12 quarterback, top 25 running back, top 30 wide receiver, top 12 tight end, or top 10 defense, start those. That is a hit. That's going to be green. If I said sit those or bench those, that's going to be red. This is my hits versus misses. And down in the bottom right corner is the key for last week's week 10, what they needed to be to fit in that top, 12 quarterback, top 25 running back, and so on. And the only thing where things are kept white or is if they're real close one way or another to the points they needed to be, I kind of left it alone. Or if I didn't really make a decision on them. Some players on the fence, I said start. If I leaned start on them, I count them as a start. If I'm leaning hard sit on them, then I count them as a sit. But if I was kind of indifferent, then they're just kind of neutral. So on Houston versus Cleveland, it looks like I did say start all running backs. Cleveland defense, which they were performing in the top of their position. I did say sit everything else, which worked out pretty well. Watson barely was outside those top 12 quarterbacks, probably about quarterback 16 or so. This was a good game. I was on this game. Weather was contributing to a lot of that. Duke Johnson was the only downfall, and I thought they'd throw it to more short passes to him, but they didn't. Both the Marvins in this game got me. Washington's defense was number one against the pass, and Marvin Hall last week, I lost the game playing him in my flex last week, thought he was going to repeat. So I sit him, and then here he comes. So I really have no idea what to do with the Marvins right now. The tight end pool this last week was really bad, but I did miss on Hawkinson. I put him as a start. Realistically, he only needed to go barely over double what he did to get into the top 12 tight ends this week because it was pretty dismal. Gibson was a great start this week. McLaurin, Logan Thomas is a great start probably going forward. McKissick and Swift, I missed on both of them slightly. I was kind of teetering on the fence, if you didn't have, but I did lean towards sitting them, so I took them as a Jaguars versus Green Bay. Luton was a bomb. Chark barely missed. Keelan Cole had a long touchdown return, so he should have been started, I guess. I missed that one. That was hard to see. MVS, I was leaning start. I said start him if you're desperate. And if anybody was desperate, start him in your flex. You really enjoyed that. This game was terrible for offense. I mean, for the Eagles anyway. The Giants, Daniel Jones did well. I said you could play him if you're real desperate, but you probably wouldn't. So I didn't take that point on him. Wayne Gallman, I was leading heavily on start. I started him on one of my two teams, and I almost started him on both, but it didn't matter because Juju made up for it anyway. But yeah, over here it's like Miles Sanders did well. Everybody else was pretty much meh. Shepard was real close to that points he needed. Goddard was real close. So I didn't take points either way on that. But yeah, this game was bad offense. Tampa Bay versus Carolina, not the way I expected it to go. I thought it'd be a little bit lower scoring, especially after that 7-hour layover. I thought maybe Tampa Bay would be a little bit sleep deprived, but I still went with Evans, and Evans scored well. AB and Godwin, I didn't know what to do with them, but they both scored high enough this week to be in the top and to be starts. Rojo too. I sat Rojo. Oh, that was the worst in this one. And Bridgewater, he's injured, so I'm kind of worried about him, but he made it too in the top. I also missed DJ Moore. Those Carolina receivers are really hard to figure out. Carolina receivers are just like throw a dart at who's going to be scoring the points this week. It's like one of them this week, two of them this week, one of them this week, and guessing which one or two of the three, good luck. The Raiders defense were surprising here. I missed that one. I was not expecting their defense to do that well. The Denver offense has been doing okay. Locke had been doing okay. I did say sit Locke. Chargers versus Dolphins, no real surprises in this one. Kalen Ballage was on the fence. He ended up being a decent start, but I was teetering towards playing him, but not enough to take the point on that one. Tua was just barely below top 12 quarterback, so I'm not going to take the point against that one. Everything else pretty normal in this game. Buffalo versus Arizona. This one was the shootout fantasy-wise that I thought it would be. Everybody did pretty well in the start column except for Christian Kirk, who missed. He could have easily been there too, though. Yeah, did pretty well in this game. Seahawks. This one was a stinker. I said start Wilson and Goff. A lot of people really high on Goff this last week. It did not work out too well. Lockett barely snuck in there. DK. This is a preview for that Week 15 playoff match, so be leery about players in these Week 15 playoff match between the Seahawks and the Rams. I don't expect a whole lot to change between now and then. Niners versus Saints. We have Breeze came out hurt partway through the game. He was a miss. Wasn't playing very well before he came out. McKinnon, I thought he'd get thrown to a little more. He did not. Ayuk was a good play. I did play him, even though a lot of people said he was going to get Lattimore and to sit him. I did say start Ayuk. Um, Thomas, I said start him, but I bet my mustache against him, so I probably shouldn't have said start him. Cook whiffed on. The whole New Orleans offense was just terrible this week. I have no idea what they're going to be next week either, with either Winston or Taysom Hill at the helm. I missed on this one a little bit. I didn't think Pittsburgh was going to keep throwing 5 wide when they're up by 3 touchdowns on this one. I mean, who do they think they are? The Packers? Yeah, so I missed on Big Ben, Claypool, and Deontay Johnson in most matches. I guess they're probably going to be starts going forward here. I hit on everybody. I said bench was a good bench in this game, though, so that turned out well. Ravens versus Patriots. I whiffed on that Baltimore D. I mean, nobody thought the Patriots were going to take it to the Ravens like they did. I mean, unless you're a Pats fan. Cam Newton, barely missed on him. He was in the top 12, just barely a quarterbacks. Damian Harris had a good day again, watching him going forward. Rex Burkhead is also on the watch list. He killed it last week. Willie Snead looks like the #1 receiver in Baltimore going forward. I missed him as well. So we'll be watching him. Minnesota versus Chicago. Dalvin Cook had a mediocre game, but it was a startable one. Allen Robinson was on the line, so I didn't take that point for or against. Jimmy Graham has 0 points, 0 catches. It's a little bit worrisome. Their quarterback situation's a little bit worrisome. Watch that going forward. He did miss an opportunity right in front of the goal line, though, on an out route. Kirk Cousins, flipping coins on him every week. Good luck with that. I missed that one. Justin Jefferson has been a little hard to call lately, too, but he had a big game this one. He's probably going to be starting in most people's lineups going forward most weeks. I missed Rudolph. Rudolph came out of nowhere this week because Irv Smith Jr. was injured, and he slid into the top 12 tight ends. Cordell Patterson, I'm not sure if he's a running back or a receiver, but either way, he made it top 25, either one. He had a good week. Chicago defense was a surprise to me. I missed on Chicago defense. Bottom right corner here, I had a total of 91 hits and 61 misses for 60% correct. And I'm going to aim to do better next week. I want to continue to get better every week. Thank you for watching another episode of Fantasy Nuts. I will be putting out my Week 11 Start Bench or on the Fence video here very soon, so watch for that. And give me a like or subscribe. Please subscribe. I need all the people I can get. Hit the Fantasy Nuts glowing logo right down there. And thank you and have a great week. And I hope you win your fantasy games.